Here's how to make PITE, an Albanian dish. We're going to chop scallions and have them ready. Saute them in a little bit of olive oil, add some yogurt, feta cheese to the mix, salt, here they are chopped already, and we're going to add feta cheese like I said, and we're also going to add 2 eggs depending on how many people you're serving. I'm making 2. This is how much you want to saute the onions, scallions. Not too much, okay? So they're still going to cook. Now, we're going to beat 3 eggs. We're going to add feta cheese, which I don't have that much, but I do have yogurt. So if you don't have feta cheese, you can add this. Some people just do it with that. I like to mix stuff. A little bit of salt, not too much. All right? So let's get to work now. Actually, I didn't put salt at all because feta cheese has salt enough. So you don't want to add too much salt. Yes. Let's get a spoon. You don't want to add the eggs on top of the scallions right away because, you know, that's hot. So you want to wait when the scallions are cold. So this is the filling. So you want to do the filling first because you're going to work on the dough and that's going to take time. Okay. See? Let me show you guys. So here's the filling. All you're going to do is mix it together. Then this is going to be mixed with that. And you're going to leave it there. But you want it to cool down because you don't want the eggs to cook there, okay? We're not making scrambled eggs. So that's the type of flour that I'm using for now. It seems to be really good. And the pot, a little bit of salt, well, 1 tablespoon, and then just clear water. And then we got oil aside and the batter. So let's make this together. It depends on how many pans you're making. I'm making 2, one for my pregnant friend and one for me, and I'm also going to share that with another friend. So I don't measure nothing. I just eyeball it. That's how my mom always did it. I don't really know any other way. Don't don't judge me. I've been doing this since I was, I don't know, 9 years old. So that's how much I put flour. And now I'm going to put salt. Yep. Just 1 tablespoon. That's all. Remember, you're not putting yeast because this is not bread. You're not making it to rise. And then you just spread the salt all over. And now we're going to put water. This water is filtered. It could be lukewarm, which is better. Mine, it was kind of lukewarm, but make sure it's filtered. And then I'm just mixing it. Some people go straight with their hand in. I don't. Yeah, what a view, my double chin. So I'm going to get more water because, like I said, I'm making 2 big pies. And I needed to add more water. So it takes about 2 hours to make this dish and another 45 minutes to bake it. You bake it at 450. You actually prepare the oven about 15 to 20 minutes ahead of time to warm up. So now this is where I go in with my hands and knead the dough because you're trying to form 2 different big balls, and then we will see how the whole process is. Okay, so now I'm just kneading it. I want to make sure there's no lumps. I want to make sure you're doing it very soft stretchy. Again, this is not bread you're making. You're going to make layers. You're going to make phyllo layers, kind of like the baklava. So this is an Albanian dish, but you also see this in a lot of Balkan areas, which is where I'm from. And everyone claims it to be theirs, the Greeks, the Turks, the Albanians, which is what I am, the Serbs. In the end, I don't really care. What I care is that. So now we're going to start by rolling them, kneading them on the table, and forming the shapes that we want the dough to be formed. I'm trying to put the camera down. So a lot of people just finish the whole thing inside the big bowl that I was doing. But today I just felt like doing it on the table. Why not? Don't judge me. Well, you also get to see a close-up how it's done. So I'm using one hand, but soon I'll be using two. Okay, see it's still very wet. So just take your time to form it. You want to make sure you don't have lumps. You get lumps when you pour you have a lot of flour inside instead of the outside. So as you knead it and roll it in circles, in circular motion, you are gathering flour, but not too much, just as much as you need for that round. So I'm trying to clear my hands because they are really sticky. Okay, let's see how this turns out. I took forever here, sorry guys. But my hands were really sticky, very sticky. Just wanted to clear them out, because then you can really feel the dough and make sure there's no lumps, you know. And the same process is with bread. This is how I do it, except that I put yeast to make it come. Now it's different if I'm making sour bread dough. I don't knead it as much. You just knead it a little bit and then you leave it overnight and it will come. I'm using a plastic knife so that I don't ruin the table. Now I'm cutting it in half because I want to use one half for one pan and the other for the other pan. So here it is. Now I cut that one again in half. Okay, and then I try to extend it to make it into like a long baguette. And then we are going to cut it. We're going to cut them into small cubes. And then those cubes are going to be formed like little balls. Again, see, this is why it takes so long to make this, because this is all done by hand. Now you can buy the phyllo doughs, the layers. You can buy them. They're very thin, convenient. There's nothing like making it yourself with your own hands. Homemade. Oh boy, it tastes so much different, you know. So here's little balls. They're kind of big actually now that I'm looking at the video. You don't want them that big. Maybe 2 inches, max 3. Mine looks like they were like more than that. Because if you want the layers to be thin. Now I made this a very traditional one, just the way my mom makes it. Sorry, I put stuff on in the front of the camera. So like I said, you can make them smaller if you want to make the layers thinner. I will explain to you later in the video what that means. So I'm going to try and speed this up. Here's my 2-year-old. She asked for a little piece and I gave it to her so she can play. But you know what? I don't know why. I think it was the flour. She didn't really like to play with it. She just did her own thing. Made more mess. And yes, I should be using an apron. I do have one, but I forgot. I don't know. You forget. You got a brain, mom. You forget things. And so, not only did I forget to put an apron, but I also forgot to clean myself. I made it, I cooked it, I baked it, and I went outside like that. It wasn't too far, but I went to my friend's house, like 3 blocks away from mine, and I sent her a piece. And yeah, I had a flour all over me. My shirt, my shorts. Hey, my belly doesn't look bad. I'm still working on, eliminating the foods that bloat me and it cause inflammation. But I got a way to go. But in 2 weeks, I've been doing some strict dieting. But on the weekends, I eat, and I mean I eat dough, which is this, which I'm not supposed to have because I have a fatty liver. When you have a fatty liver, it's hard to lose weight. You have to have like a strict diet. But like today, when I made this, I was feeling homesick. Yeah. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna make something that's gonna remind me of my mom and a smell of my house and my childhood. And you know what? It just satisfied my soul. And then I said, why not make one for my friend who is from my country too? And she's pregnant. So who wouldn't like that? I actually made her a whole pan. You'll see it in the end. And she was very grateful. Because she's almost due to deliver a baby. So I made my stomach happy and her family as well. Win-win for me. Here's the balls. I already made them into little balls. Ooh, what happened to that footage? I don't know what happened to that footage. Anyway, so now, here I am talking, but I am over talking because my daughter had her cocoa melon, and the cocoa melon is big. So now you get a little oil on one side, on a bowl. Some oil. Gosh, I'm losing speech here. Anyway, here I'm mixing the batter that you guys saw me in the beginning with the scallions, okay? So mixing it all ready and leaving it there ready to fill in the layers. So every layer will be filled with this. I actually made extra because this did not look like it was enough for 2. So I added more off the camera, I believe. So now, look at me. Now, I forgot that thing. I am making the little philos. They can't be any bigger than what I am going to show you right now because you're going to put oil on all of them and then they're going to be big. You're going to use the rolling pin to make them bigger. I'll show you the whole process. Alright, this is taking forever. So here I am. I'll show you a little bit and then I'll speed up this video because it's too much. So you just put oil, and I'm making 3. You can put as many as you want actually, but I'm making only 3 layers. And each layer has these small tortillas. They look like tortillas. About 10-15. There she is staring at the dough and not even touching it. That day also my husband took our oldest to see a Yankee game. So Gracie was a little bored. She kept coming to me and going to see TV, watch TV. So here I am trying to make 2 at the same time because I wanted to kill the time faster because I was running a little behind. I hope my friend sees this and sees that the process was long, okay? And that I wasn't lying when I told her that, it took forever. So anyway, here it is. I'm going to speed this up, guys, because you know what? It's too much talking. Alright, here's me speeding this whole thing up and trying to finish everything quick because time was running and I needed to finish it. So, again, when you're doing all these and you're putting them away from you, I put them all on top of each other, but then later I suffered because they were stuck to each other. But I was very quick and did not have to suffer that much. So you need a lot of space on your table. I was using half of the table. Very immature of me, because you actually suffer. So you need the whole table, not half of it, because you're going to need space. So here they are now. 3. Okay, that's the pan. So that's 3 layers, and I will show you what I mean with 3 layers once I make them. Okay, but first of all, you need to put oil on each of tortillas that goes on top of each other. You can put about 10 to 15 tortillas, or 20, depending how thin you want it. See what I'm talking about? Them being on top of each other, and then they got stuck to each other for real. But not bad, because I was very quick, as you can see. I'm trying to do things with one hand. Here they are, oiling them up. And so you finish quick. You can do 1 at a time, or 3, because I do 3 because you finish quicker. You see, I'm almost done. Layer all 3 of them. Now in the end, the top tortilla, you don't want to put oil, because when you have to use the rolling pin, you don't want it to stick to it. Here they are done. That's how thick. I don't think I had more than 10 on each. And now I put those aside, and I gotta do the rest. Okay, there's the second one, second pan done. So it's 6 of them, 3 per pan, 3 layers per pan. Some people put more, but you don't want it to be too thick. Although mine was a little thick, at the same time it was very crunchy. You gotta make sure your oven is like on before you start kneading the bread on the table. Like, you really have to. So here's the tortillas, the 10 tortillas on top of each other. Then I'm making the layer now. Okay, I'm going to, looks like I'm making pizza, but I'm not. Although you can make it as pizza, but it would be very thin. So here's me trying to extend it, make it long, bigger. I don't really know how you call this process in English. We just call it PITE, So here you go, me making the pita. It's gonna get stuck because I didn't put too much flour. So you don't want it to get stuck. Put flour in between your rolls. Look at my chunky hands. My doctor said that I have mild arthritis, which makes your hands like that. So not good news for me this summer. I got a lot of bad news about my health. Now, if you don't want to roll it, you can use your hands and just go like that. Make sure you don't put your nails, your fingers in, so you don't make holes. Here's the pan. We're going to oil up the pan first, the bottom of the pan, because you don't want it to stick. Now, if it's bread, you can just put flour or butter or even olive oil. It depends on the tastes you have. I'm doing pizza, so I'm going to put oil. I'm doing mild virgin olive oil. You can use, what is it called? Vegetable oil. We don't use vegetable oil in years now because of health reasons. And, trying to eat healthy. Vegetable oil is not really healthy. So here it is. As you can see, it's pretty thick. Not good as I want it to. But like I said, I'm making it the traditional way, which before, a long time ago, people didn't care how thin it was. They just cared that it came out cooked, tasty, and satisfying your soul. And this definitely did, because this is one of our main dishes. So now I put oil all over. Every layer, again, has to have oil. Now, don't put too much, because you don't want it to make it like very oily and like we have to like dip the oil like those pizzas. Anyway, so now I'm putting the filling, which is scallions, again, eggs, feta cheese. What else did I put? Yogurt. I'm using the wrong thing here. I want to get another one. That actually I use for oil, but so anyway, now I'm trying to make sure that it's spread out everywhere in the first layer. Okay, I'm gonna put more because it doesn't look like it has enough filling, you know. So just put whatever, eyeball it, you know. You gotta make sure that you have enough left filling for the rest, you know. So what else am I getting? Oh, that one, yes. Now let's go and make the second one. Second one is the same process as the first one, so we're gonna speed this up, okay, so you guys don't get bored. Yeah, see if it was really like this fast. There you go, made it the same. Now let's put the filling. Same, it's done. The top only oil and some of the filling because you want it to look crispy and want it to look like it has something. Usually some people put just yogurt. I like to use the filling. Why not? You know, it will look like a real pizza. I don't know. I grew up in a village. This is how I saw my mom do it, and this is how I'm doing it. But don't put too much because this is, you know, this is just the top. Okay? I just wanted to give it that color. Alright, so now we're done with the first one. Now we're going to go with the second one. That's the 3 layers for the second pan. Alright, there you go. You're just explaining. I don't even know what I was saying. So, yeah, just don't put too much. There's the first one going inside the oven. Again, the oven has to be on at least 25 minutes ahead of time. Now that's the second one. Yes, baby. The heat was high, 450. Yummy, yummy for my fat tummy. Alright. That's getting too much here. There you go. Who's gonna clean the mess? It was hot, yo. It was hot. I'm sweating so bad. It's not the time to turn the oven on. Mess. It's so bad. That's the only part I hate is cleaning after yourself. There she is. She was bored. So bored waiting for her sister. So this is the first one that I had ready for my friend. And I also made this, which you guys saw this video already, Tov. Some snack for her son. And mine is there. I already cut all of that for my friend. So I made her, getting her some drinks and the Tov. Oh, I can't wait to eat this. I actually ate a lot. I overdosed. I overdosed. Don't tell anyone. And that's the leftover Tov, which I blended and turned it into spaghetti sauce. There is my portion after I came home from my friend. And I have a distilled water with a yogurt. This is how we eat it. Because you want to burn the fat or the oil from that. Okay, it looks good and it tasted so good. The next day is the best. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.